So I am only re-attired. So you could be a 20-year-old and not be able to do even a bit of it because you're not trained. Nothing inspires you when you are doing the Ironman. Because you need to swim 3.8 kilometers, you need to cycle 180, and you need to run 42. And I had not even run a half marathon. So I had to convince myself that I can do it. So that is what would happen to anybody when you share your dream. 99% of the people around you actually discourage you.
So my first question to you is, how and when did you develop an interest in participating in triathlons?
I came upon a YouTube of a woman called the Iron Nun, or was a practicing nun in the United States.
Yes.
And she was introduced to running by a priest when she was 48 years of age. And at 52 years of age, she went and did her first Ironman. And thereafter, she went on to do 40 of them. So the last Ironman she did when she was 86 years old. It inspired me. So she's actually my inspiration. So I needed a challenge. And that's when I connected this Ironman, what I'd seen on the Iron Nun. And I decided to go and do the Ironman.
So would you say that your schedule in the army also prepared you in a way for these triathlons?
Not at all.
Yes.
And no, so I can't say that the army prepared me. But surely the discipline that the army life, infused in me,
Definitely.
all through my career, went a lot way in helping me prepare for the Ironman.
Because, it takes a certain amount of mental strength to be able to, complete them, So how did you prepare yourself mentally, psychologically, and even emotionally for that matter?
I believe every battle that you win has to be fought twice. And the first time it's in your mind, and the second time it's on the ground. And so it was in my case out here where when I decided I wanted to do the Ironman, my biggest challenge was to convince myself that I can do it. Because everybody around me told me otherwise. People whom I shared my dream with, they laughed at me. They said, you'll get a heart attack at 58 if you want to do the Ironman and stuff like that. So I had to convince myself that I can do it. And that was the biggest challenge. And how I did that was I took a two-pronged approach. So, in your mind, there always the black wolf and the white wolf. The black wolf saying you can't do it, and the white wolf saying you want to do it. So I went about trying to shut down the black wolf. And the technique I used was public pledging. So I went and announced that I'm going to do Ironman. Once I put it on social media and my friends and family and other people saw it, now I know that their reaction would have been, some of them would have laughed, some would have smirked, others would have just, probably pulled my leg. But now if I quit or I didn't do it, then I would be stuck. And, then they would have said, see, we told you, yeah, this guy's just talking big. So that was like one catalyst to make sure that I convinced myself mentally. So once I committed, then it became easier for me to mentally also accept that now I have to do it. There's no getting away.
Yes. Did you feel a lot of pressure during a time like that when you felt like, there was no one really backing you up and you were all by yourself and you had taken such a difficult decision?
No, I was not all by myself. My wife was always supporting me. Not once did she ever say that don't do the Ironman. And so there was no problem convincing her. It was the people who were around me, and really it didn't matter whether they thought, I could do it or they thought I couldn't do it. So that is what would happen to anybody when you share your dream. 99% of the people around you actually discourage you. So when I actually went for the Ironman, the army didn't know that I was going for the Ironman.
How did you prepare yourself physically? How many hours of hard work did you put in? And how did you make sure that, you became fitter given your age? That must have also proved to be a challenge.
2017, I was posted at Mathura as a chief of staff. And I remember that it was 17 January, which is my birthday. And my wife had presented me with an iPod. And that's the first day I ran 7 kilometers on the treadmill because I was listening to that music. And I told her, I said, thanks to your iPod, I did 7 kilometers. But that was the last time I ever ran 7 kilometers. But I did a lot of training otherwise, as core strength training, body strengthening training, and I prepared for a year and a half. I never once did the Ironman distance ever before. In fact, I never even ran a 42-kilometer in my life. The first time I ran it was in Austria.
So, how did you fit such a demanding fitness schedule into your, with your regular duties as an army officer?
Yeah. So that was a lot of time management and sacrifice. An army headquarters job, which takes away morning 9 to evening, 6 o'clock. And there's no way you can compromise on, the saab kahan gaya, wo bhagne gaye, so it can't happen. Therefore, I would get back from work, change, and on the weekdays, from 7 at night to 10 o'clock, I would run thrice a week, and I would swim twice a week, same time. And luckily, like I said, we have this facility of the Khelgaon out here, Asiad village, where we could swim at night. And I would leave the cycling to weekends. So on a Saturday night, I would cycle from 2 a.m. on a Saturday night to 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. It provided me these advantages, and that was a good time to utilize. And then I could sleep off on a Sunday and relax. So the sacrifice came in terms of social life. I didn't socialize with people. I refused all invites, and they started wondering that this guy is, gone crazy because he's not accepting any invite. It takes a toll on family life because, you're on a mission and your family is. So if you're waking up at 1 in the morning and then leaving the house at 1:30, others have to be tolerant to accept what is happening. So these things take a toll, and that's why I say that time management is the most difficult part.
This is one question that I've been meaning to ask you about your age. So how did your age serve as a motivator, or as a demotivator? How did you look at this factor when you decided to participate in the triathlons?
No, I never looked at my age at all. It didn't make a difference. I don't think age really matters.
Right.
What matters is the effort you put into training. So you could be a 20-year-old and not be able to do even a bit of it because you're not trained. Yeah. So I keep telling people that anybody can do the Ironman, provided they do the training and they put in that effort. So I never looked at age.
You share some interesting and adventurous, some of the most interesting moments, from your triathlon, anything that is perhaps some anecdote which is funny or, amusing.
There was nothing amusing, but there were a lot of anecdotes which can be shared because I went to Austria 5 days prior to the event.
Right.
So that I can acclimatize, so I can run there, I can cycle there. And when I went for my cycling ride, I found that my cycle was not geared up to climb those slopes. So I had to go and get that changed to make a more favorable gear set, which would help me climb up. So that was one incident which happened. Then the weather went, wonky, and there was a cold wave. Although this was the month of July, 1st of July, the temperature dropped to 19 degrees. And I had not prepared for swimming in a wetsuit. So I had to go and buy a wetsuit out there. Now, the dynamics of swimming in a wetsuit are totally different. There's buoyancy in it, and unless you're trained, it becomes a problem. So now I had to go and train. There was luckily a lake near where the property where I was staying. So I got into that and did a little bit of acclimatization. So I was in a situation where I was swimming in a wetsuit for the first time, and that was the event day. And after I swam, I got onto my bike and my speedometer didn't work. So there were these whole lot of, things which kept happening. And the most intimidating thing was when I went for registration. You go and register a day or 2 days in advance. And I was suddenly exposed to the different other athletes. So there were about 2,800 athletes from 70 countries who were there. And they all looked so fit. So I was like, first day at school, that I'm a greenhorn. And when I spoke to a few of them, somebody was doing his 4th Ironman, somebody's doing his 10th Ironman, somebody's doing his 2nd. And here I was, groping to. So that was very intimidating. The environment was like a carnival where the entire town of Klagenfurt is on the street from 7 in the morning to 12 at night. They're there with their guitars, with the music, they cheer you up, they see your name on your bib, they call it out. Very, very hospitable and very encouraging environment.
That immediately motivate you, inspire you a bit?
Nothing inspires you when you are doing the Ironman. A very interesting incident happened, which maybe you could talk of. 150 kilometers into my cycling, I was very low on energy. But I was so low on energy that the road started blanking out. Blackouts, feeling giddy, and cycling became a problem. And that is when I connected with my mother. She had passed away 5 years ago. And suddenly I saw, I could see her face. She was smiling at me. And I had goosebumps. I felt a surge of energy. And I started to get my cycling, rhythm back. And I completed my 30 kilometers with that incident which happened, which I later on, when I came back and I researched and I found that it is called getting meditative. And you can actually meditate when you run or you cycle.
Beautiful.
And so there's a technique which I now, of course, tell people how to do it.
So, sir, are you also looking at coaching youngsters or, any other people your age who are looking at participating in triathlons or, or those who are fitness enthusiasts?
I do it all the while.
So please tell us about that.
A lot of people have been approaching me, and I tell anybody who wants advice, I give free advice. I'm very good at that.
Are you looking at it also as perhaps an alternate career?
No.
Okay.
I do
just something that you're passionate. Something that you're...
A lot of army guys who are in touch with me, who want to do the Ironman, people from the Civvy Street, a lot of them. And I give them whatever little advice I can.
So, sir, your wife, she's also very much into fitness and she also participates in marathons. So, who inspired who? Did she inspire you or did you inspire her?
What do you think?
I think she inspired you first.
Really? Okay. Well, that sounds good, but no, I think I inspired
You inspired her. Okay. Sir, do you have any more, do you have any other plans of participating in any of these events anymore, or is there anything else? Okay.
I did 2 Ironman events. I did another half because my wife was to do the half Ironman in Goa. And I just registered because of her, but she got dengue just about 10 days before the event. This was 2019.
Okay.
She was all ready for it. So she couldn't take part, but then I went and did I had to do that half Ironman, so I did that again. And now I'm waiting for the thing to open. I intend to do an Ironman every year. So I'm training for it.
So, sir, this is my last question. What is your message for the youth and especially, for those who are in the older age bracket? What is the one thing you'd like to tell them?
So the message actually across the board for every age is that you must have a dream. Everybody must dream. And I find people don't dream. Some people who dream don't have the guts to follow their dream because, you keep dreaming of things, but you never get down to putting them into action. And others don't have the imagination of what to dream. So you are so engrossed in your day-to-day life that you've forgotten what you used to dream of when you were a child. You wanted to do this, you wanted to do that, but then the life got better of you. So you must dream. And once you dream, then you need to put your dream make it into reality, for which all you need is self-confidence and commitment and hard work. As long as you do that, your dream will come true.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Really appreciate it. And this was supposed to happen, I know, a little long ago, but thank you so much for your patience. You've been very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and all the best for your.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, Namrata. See you.